Yo, we're live. Welcome to the Diren Kartal show. Okay, guys, welcome to episode 40, bruv, episode 40. And today I have Andy Pilides. Did I say that right in Greek? No.
Pilides,
like believe this, yeah?
Believe this, yeah.
Oi, Andy, this is episode 40, nearly the amount of years that you've been a coach.
You see this, yeah? This head, bro. That's how many years I've been a coach.
You're starting to lose hair. Is that due to testosterone or stress?
I think it's a mix. It's a mix of both. I mean, it might even be a COVID symptom. I don't even know.
You never know. So for people that don't know Andy and will know Andy from now on, Andy is actually one of the main reasons I've become a personal trainer. Him and his best friend, Stephen, they're both very good friends of mine. And Andy is one of my mentors. Stephen was one of my mentors as well, but I still work closely with Andy. He actually still coaches me. He's my go-to when I need a bit of advice, especially when it comes to coaching. I mean, anyone that believes in coaching and doesn't have a coach, I think it's weird, right? So I've introduced you. Why don't you tell people what you do and what you do now, bro?
Well, I run a company called More Than Muscle. It's myself and my girlfriend, Nat. And obviously we look after lots of general pop clients, some young athletes and things like this. But one of my big passions is to look after other personal trainers, help them develop their career. And obviously, some of the stuff you speak about with yourself, that's what I like doing. So it's a real mix. But the main thing we do is we personal train people, man.
How long have you been coaching now for?
I think it's coming up to 10 years. It might even be 11. I'm losing count, bro. The hair is kind of giving me, that's all you need to know. It's hitting double figures. It's been a long time. I mean, how many years ago did we meet at Virgin when you was coming over? That must be 10 years, bro.
I was over 10 years. I was 17. It's because you know what? I was paying for Virgin Active with my EMA I was getting for going to college.
Bro, EMA. Oh my days, I forgot about stuff like that. I remember saving up EMA just to buy a crepe, to buy a train.
Yeah, wow. Bro. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. So when I remember, when I was going into the gym, for you guys that are listening, and I was, because Andy knows, I was that guy that used to go and I just used to do abs. I'm not doing weights, innit? I'll play football. I'll put on too much muscle and it's going to slow me down and this and that. And the thing is, I obviously started that at a very young age, right? So I made mistakes at a very young age because I was probably misled at a very young age. But now there's so many fitness influencers and so much stuff happening in the fitness industry, and people are being misled when they're a little bit older, which is why they're taking a little bit longer to understand, right? Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, we're speaking from our football experience, and
Go for it.
Weight training wasn't really a thing back then. It was like train hard as you can, get as fit as you can, and then that'll make you more athletic, and then you'll play football. And us being us, we'd always train as hard as we could. And sometimes it wasn't the smartest things to do. And it was always the notion, if you was weight training, then you was bodybuilding. And if you was bodybuilding, you ain't going to play football. So that's where you were coming from, as I'm getting bigger. I don't want to weight train, Andy. I want to jump around a few hurdles, do a bit on the treadmill, and then go sauna with my Havanas, isn't it? And it's true, bro.
That is exactly what I used to do when I was 17. That's funny.
That's what I used to do as well. And then I learned what the bench press was, and I thought that was what weight training was. And you do that, and then do all the cardio and the hurdles and stuff like that. But
what would you say to? Now I'm going to get a lot of women that are going to listen to this, right? And a lot of women that can be intimidated by the gym, by weights. What would you tell the women listening of the benefits about building muscle and why they should do it more so than concentrating on cardio?
Well, I think firstly, you should be doing more of the stuff that you're not doing. And that goes for male and female, because we always do the stuff that we like doing. So you're going to get benefit from that. But if it's coming straight down to body composition and, you want to look better, then we all know that muscle helps you look better. Yeah. So the only way you're going to build muscle tissue is if you actually stimulate it. So you have to actually weight train. But other than that, all the good hormonal stuff you get from it, and who doesn't want to eat more?
Yeah.
Me and you love eating. So it's the same for them. If you can allow them to eat that little bit more, then what you'd be happy about that. So there's so many benefits that you could be doing from weight training. It's it doesn't mean you're going to turn into the Hulk. If you're intimidated by it, go and ask Diren. He's got so much stuff on his platforms. Look at his stuff, look at our stuff, and then learn. Because some of the stuff is fear factor, isn't it? It's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to break my back and this and that.
Yeah.
There's loads out there.
You said, what did you say? We should be doing more of what we don't do. What did you say?
All the stuff that we're not doing, you know?
Right, I like that. That's a golden nugget, bruv. I'm gonna write that down.
No, and that goes to me because you know, I should be doing more stuff like yoga, more flexibility stuff, a bit more cardio probably. I'm doing too much of the stuff that I like. So it's human nature. But that's why, like you said at the beginning, it's good to have a coach because they just make you do the things that you should be doing rather than the things that you want to be doing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So you're obviously, all the things that you said that you're not doing that you should be doing, you're not doing it due to your workload, you're busy. And a lot of people that listen to this are probably in similar situations, not maybe, they definitely are. Like they have kids, they have 9 to 5s, they work 40 plus hours, they have the stresses, the bills, the this. Yeah. What is the best angle to take for these people? What should they be doing? Why should they be doing it? What angle should they play?
Yeah, I think, it's a good thing that you say because like there's been a time in my life where training was the only thing I thought about. And so it was my first priority. And when it's my first priority, shit gets done. And the truth is, at this point in my life, I have other things that are, my business is a bit of a priority. We're obviously new into this house. We're trying to fix it up. There's other things on my mind. Last year I did my dissertation. And that's not making excuses, but your life is going to change and your priorities are going to change. So I think when you're being serious about your training and your physique goals and the way you want to look and your fitness levels, whether it's events, you've just got to really sit down with yourself and ask, where does it sit in my priority list to be realistic on how hard you're going to go with the results that you want to get? That's number one. Then number two, D, is I always say, like, try and flex your willpower muscle. And I got this from a coach. I think it was Charles Poliquin, actually. I got this. And the reason why he said try and flex your willpower muscle, what he's trying to say here is don't create such a hill that you're going to fall off it. Yeah, because what you want to do is give yourself little things that you're doing so that you're successfully hitting milestones, so that willpower muscle is growing. And if it does that, you'll carry on doing it and you'll probably get results from it. So don't kind of bite your nose off.
Yeah. And do you think people sometimes, when it comes to goal setting and all that stuff, they overshoot too quickly and tend to fail doing so and get disappointed? Or
I think it's the notion of go hard or go home. We're always told, it's the same as when we was playing football. It's like, he who trains the hardest always wins. And that's true to a degree, but at some point, it's the person that turns up each day. And going hard or home doesn't mean you're going to turn up every day because you'll be spent, you're either fucked, you've had enough of it, you're hurting. You have to be smarter in how you attain these things.
So you're saying basically consistency is the key thing?
Yeah, and also it's the factor of giving yourself a chance. You need to turn up day in and day out. And if you're overspilling on trying to go hard all the time. Listen, if you're driving a car and you put the pedal to the metal, what happens to the car? You're going to hit a wall. It's the same with you and your training. You know what I'm saying? I have to look after that. I'm also not trying to say to people out there, drive in third gear the whole time cruising, because there is a time where you actually have to go hard, but there's a time and place and you've got to give yourself a chance.
Yeah. And obviously with say my female clients, there is the factor of their menstrual cycle and this and that. Now, the times of the month, say, when they're feeling really motivated, right?
Yeah.
Is that when they should go hard? Or is that when they should just go normal? And the times where they're not feeling so well, the week they're not feeling 100%, they should completely let go? Or what angle would you say to those women?
You know what, D? It's quite good that you say it like that because, we speak to lots of people like us who, we're all science guys and we've read all the stuff. And, they say like, oh, yeah, you need to be aware of the luteal phase and the follicular phase and all of this and that. And it's really true. We do need to know it from our perspectives. Yeah. But there is a big thing for understanding the person that you're working with, because each female, each male is going to be different. Trust me, we have menstrual cycles as well. I've worked with enough men, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you need to understand who you're working with. And absolutely, bro, if you know that person is ticking in that moment, then go for it. I'm very big for like quality of work rather than quantity. And if you know that person is going to be driving hard in that phase, and they feel good, then I'm all for going for it, get the best out of it. And then you can back off, go and enjoy life. There's more to training and there's more to life than training. Go away, do your thing, eat some Haribo, be happy, what you need to do. But I like the way you put that, because it's very, as you say, us science bods can be the worst. We can actually make things worse for people by talking the way we talk.
I love like asking people like you this, and every time I talk to and have coaches like yourself that I think are way smarter than me, right? Because you've got your masters in S&C, right, and all of this stuff, and you've been studying for years and years, which I highly respect and I love. And you knowing all the things that you know, you knowing to the depth of certain things, you simplify it so much for people to understand so well. And I feel like a lot of coaches struggle with delivering that message to people, right? And I think people, for that reason, they don't know who to trust. They sometimes go with either the person that they look and they go, oh, this guy is so smart on paper, blah, blah, blah. And then that person can't deliver the message. So what would you say to someone that is looking for a coach? What qualities should they be looking for in a coach to help them out?
Yeah, I know what you mean, because there's tons of these people in the industry, and there's tons of people like yourself who, that you're like me. I see you like me. Like, we trained first.
Yeah.
And we did it all wrong.
Yeah.
We felt it. And then we slowly started learning, the better ways of doing things through our mistakes. And I think that helps us relate to people, because most people are doing it wrong.
Yeah.
But then you get, I know some coaches who are brilliant coaches, by the way, where they got into coaching before they did training, and then they learned all the science behind it first. But then they had no application to it. And now they're slowly coming into their ends of learning what to do. Yeah. But if you're looking for a coach, I mean, the one thing that I look for first is I actually don't care about your knowledge set. What I care about is, did you inspire me to even talk to you in the first place?
Yeah.
Now I'm saying, if you inspire me in some way, whether it's something you've done in your career, or maybe it is your knowledge, so I want to find something out.
Yeah.
And then if you're not a dick to me when I ask you, because sometimes I'll be like, D, what do you reckon about this? What about this? And then you'll just raise one eyebrow and be like,
yeah.
I don't want that. I want you to be normal with me, as if you're my boy. And then if that works, that it's going to work in the long term. And I think that's the first thing that I look for. It's can you inspire me? Because I don't know if it's different from my perspective, because I feel like I've got some good knowledge. So I'm like, well, if you don't inspire me, I'll just go somewhere else. I need that information. But I think that's what people need to look into,
I think I completely agree with that. I initially came to you when I was 17 and saw you because you guys inspired me to kind of want to get into coaching. I thought, oh, this is great. This is something I can do while I try to become a football player or whatnot. And even when I was 20 years old, when you first started training me, when I was working as a PT in Oxford Circus, that was my first year into personal training. And I had a coach. And I remember traveling to come see you in Old Street from Oxford Circus, right? Yeah. And I remember PTs telling me, they go, where are you going? I said, I'm going to my PT, bro. And they would laugh at me, and they would laugh at me, go, what? A PT's got a PT? What are you doing, bro? What are you wasting your time for and this and that? How have you got a PT and all this stuff? And I'm thinking, this is crazy. My initial thing wasn't to be oh, I want to get educated. I want to educate myself through Andy so I can help people more. I was actually just inspired by the way you coach and the way you are with people. And I wanted to be like that, which is why
it's mad, D, because it's like dominoes, because going back to a question of what inspires, who would you want to work with? At that time, I had a PT as well.
Yeah.
It's like dominoes. I was learning something from someone, and then I wanted to teach you what I was learning. And then your clients, and it's and this is not because you wouldn't, because you obviously would. But at that time, I was doing that for free because I actually just wanted to coach you. That's all I cared about, was everything that I learned, does it work? I just wanted to find out whether it worked.
Yeah.
And the only way you can find out whether it works is by trying it.
But you're the first person. But think about this. I was a qualified PT, right? I was young. I was 19, just turned 20. I had zero idea about energy balance.
Yeah, it's mad. But
It's
you know
mad.
what? I learned, I've gone through all the things of thinking, taking whey protein's the answer, taking fish oils is going to help me lose weight.
Yeah.
I met a coach called Martin, and he helped me a lot. And he got my shit together, and I lost loads of tissue or weight rather, and then my body composition was the best it ever was. I tried it, and then you came along, and I was like, listen, bro, this is what you need to do. I've learned this thing, which at the time, it wasn't like it was now, where influencers are just on social media telling everyone calorie deficit, calorie. So it wasn't that really available.
Yeah.
It was like a ray of light. I've done it and it worked. I was in great shape because I've always trained.
Yeah.
But I was in great shape. And I was like, D, you need to do this, bro. Like, just trust me, do it. And then you did. So, I think it's important you always have, especially when you're trying to progress, you always have someone there.
Yes.
Lean on. And it doesn't have to be one person, because there was about 4 or 5 that I was leaning on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you do the same, it's, there's a few people you've used in the past.
Yeah, there is. There still is. I mean, I feel like we all need a level of accountability. And if we do want to progress, and I think we should always look at progressing at a level, it doesn't have to be an aggressive thing where you're studying ridiculously hard. But I love the fact that, like, when I'm stuck with something, and because I think I think coaching people and what coaches need to understand is a lot of being able to understand the behavior of their clients and being able to talk to them in a way that they understand. And sometimes there's things that I get stuck with. And I love the fact that I know I can WhatsApp you if I needed anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think people, coaches especially, have ego problems, which is why they don't excel. Do you know what I mean? Do you agree? Or
I do. I think you're right, because it is ego at the end of the day. But at the same time, I think it's more fear.
Okay, yeah.
Other personal trainers don't want to be told that they're wrong, not good enough, worth nothing. They need to be better. When the truth is, the best ones, that's what motivated me at the beginning. I did not want to be on the gym floor not knowing what to do. I didn't want my client ever saying to me, what do you think of this? And I'm like, don't know. Or like, why ain't this working? And the truth is, a lot of the time I didn't know. But that's what motivated me to go away and go, okay, I need to learn more about rotator cuffs because all my clients have got shoulder injuries. Or I need to learn a bit more about the hip because, blah, blah, blah. So that's kind of what made me learn more. And Steve's my good friend, fantastic coach. And half the time, what we would do is just all of those things would go away, chat like we're chatting now, learn, make training programs, see if it worked. It didn't work, go back again, try. And your clients' results, taking pride in the results changing, is what actually learned and taught me more than going to uni. Like, I've done a really good course, but I still feel it doesn't mean anything if you didn't have the passion or motivation to actually try and find the little cracks. Yeah. And I always say to young coaches, I'm like, just coach. Find your mum, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, your gran, your friends. Train them for free, bro. Don't worry about cash. Yeah. Trust me. Because when you get good, cash is coming. Yeah. Don't worry about it. And there's too many of them that are going down the route of, let me get as many clients as I can. What are you going to do with them, though, bro? You need to know what to do. And I know it's different times in people's lives and they need to financially support themselves. But if you're truly in it for the right reasons, I think you will go out of your way to be better.
100%. And I think what I realized is, other than you and a few others in the UK that I knew when I was personal training in London, a lot of people around me only saw PT as I make £50 an hour, right? Which is why the ones that were like that, they flopped. They couldn't even pay their rent at work. They ended up getting kicked out of the gym. When I went to Australia, I'm not going to lie, the level of professionalism there overall with personal trainers was I was a little bit mind blown. I went chatted to people. They're like, oh yeah, they're bringing in $2,000-3,000 a week. They've got penthouses in Sydney and this and that. And I'm thinking, what? You're a personal trainer? Huh? This is crazy. At the time, I was enjoying coaching, but in my mind, I was still I want to be a footballer. Yeah. Right. And I feel like you said, if you have the right values, you give value to people and you actually enjoy helping people, like you said, the money the money will come eventually.
Yeah.
Does it, someone like you that I know that is a good coach and helps people create amazing habits, life-changing habits for the long run, does it frustrate you when you got those idiots on Instagram, you know, like me, like with some followers and that, trying to get loads of people? Does it frustrate you? Like, honestly.
Let me say something now to all the people that are listening, yeah? Firstly, I'm so proud that what you're doing, yeah? What you're doing is sick, bro. It's big, yeah?
Bro.
But in terms of like people growing an influence, it's like anything. You always hear people go, oh, you got to make a community. Business is all about creating a community. And the truth is, the first thing you got to do is do your thing.
Yeah.
If you do your thing, then people come in, yeah? And you grow a community around the thing that you want. And the truth is, that's your little community. You can speak and talk to them however you want. But when you step into the box of being an expert in, you know, telling people how to live their life, telling people how to train, health, stuff that might be out of your scope, I think it's very, very important that you do actually know what you're talking about. And there is some danger and crossover on these platforms because it's not filtered.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just think it comes down to, as the consumer, also need to filter it. I think everyone's very, very quick to blame influencers and go, oh, you know, they're socially influencing everybody in the mindset and mental health and this and that. But I still think, as the consumer, you still have to have a filter on what you want to look at. Have a critical mind. Like, don't believe everything you listen to. Like, if I see something and I think, I'm going to go and check it out. I ain't just going to go and do it. Someone tells you to jump off a cliff. You don't do it, do you?
Yeah.
So
like,
yeah.
Question thing. Just like anything, you should question, I guess, who you're buying into or who you're going to invest in. And I guess most importantly, like whoever you're investing and talking to and want to be coached by is someone you kind of want to enjoy.
Exactly.
You know, enjoy, you know, that's the most important.
The truth is, bro, I think the consumer has a responsibility also.
Yeah.
And it's being banded too much on the fact that the social influencer has to have a big responsibility. Because at the end of the day, you talk about, doesn't mean I have to listen.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I lost you there, bro.
No, you're right. You're right. You're good. No, I completely understand. What? Okay, so the festive season's coming, right? Christmas is coming. Although I'm Turkish and that, but I'm still getting involved in the food. Yeah.
MashaAllah.
What? Now, is it normal to put on a few pounds over Christmas?
Yes, bro. And trust me, I'm putting them on before. Don't even worry about 12 days of Christmas. It's like
And what would you say to people that are worrying about this, stressing about this? Because I have clients and I tell them day in and day out, and I would love them to hear something from someone else, someone that I highly respect. You know, what would you tell them? What should their angle be during Christmas? Whether it's calories, nutrition, drinking, training, what angle do you give your clients?
I say to them, don't look at it through a straw.
Yeah.
Look at the bigger picture, because if you think you got fat from that one day at Christmas where you went in, it wasn't that day. There's a bigger picture here. So, you know, if you're doing it every day for 12 days of Christmas, then you have to ask yourself, was your weight your priority? Because if it was, you wouldn't be doing that over 12 days of Christmas. Now, if you turn around and say to me, boy, I just wanted to have fun with my friends, then cool, innit? Do that. It's cool. We'll address it after. Yeah. But I think the first thing, you have to be realistic in your mind. Are you going to enjoy the day? Go and do it. If you're going to enjoy the whole month doing Christmas, then you have to say to yourself, you have to expect to put the weight on. And that's fine. So that my thing that I always say to clients is, what's your expectation here? What do you really want before you start coming and whinging about your belt line to me? Once you justify that, then I can help you. Yeah. Yeah. And I just, that's the most important thing, because most of my clients, I say to them, go enjoy yourself. We'll talk, we'll address it after. Yeah. I think that's one of the angles that attracted me to you initially in the first place. You know, when I used to hit you up, I'd be like, Andy, just a heads up, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. It's been a big day of calories. I know when I weigh in, it's going to be a little bit mad. And you turn around and be like, yeah, all good. No problem. No problem. Just crack on with it the next day. Go back to normal, you know, and I feel like that pressure that you take off
me, and that I take off with my clients, it allows them to get back to normal.
I tell you what, D, I think the response is dependent on who the individual is, because it's you. And I know your whole thing's about preaching about neat up 24/7, management, all of these things. I know that you're switched on in this regard. Yeah. So I can be like that with you because I know you understand the concept of if you're going ham, you can scale back again and then it will balance out.
Yeah.
But it's all down to who you're working with, because there's some people that, you know, if you're like me and you open a bag of crisps, you're finishing the bag of crisps. You can't have one or two and then put it down. It's like almost staring at me, waiting for me to finish it. I do think it depends on who you're working with and then what route you go down. Because for some people, I have to be a little bit more rigid and be like, look, this is what we're going to do. And we planned it like a month before. It's like, this is what we're going to do. This is the process we're going down. Execute it. And they do really well off that. If I give them too much space, then it goes off the rail. So it does depend. It works with you because you understand what you're doing with your nutrition and your training. It's just
No, okay, cool. Yeah, I get that. With like, what do you think of diet culture around us in like Western society? What do you think of it?
What is in dieting?
Dieting, all the like, whether it's the fad diets, whether I'm doing this, whether I'm doing that. What is the right angle for people to take? Now, I know again, I'm a calorie deficit, but although calorie deficit does sound very simple, and it is, but there is a bigger message behind all of that, right?
Yeah. At the end of the day, what we're trying to say when we say calorie deficit is that forget all your fads and things that you've looked at. All they're all trying to get you to do is create a deficit. So you could pick, I don't know, from the Atkins diet all the way to the, I don't know, paleo diet. What you're trying to do is create a calorie deficit. But let's not get it twisted. You could do all of those diets and still be in a surplus. So you have to understand that fundamental. This is what you always say.
Yeah.
Understand it's fundamental and then do what you like. But in terms of like, what do I think about diets? It's like, if you want to lose weight, to some degree, you have to diet. What method you choose is up to you. What you like, what your preference is, what your training's like. Whether you want to do it flexible, you know, where you can create the deficit, or whether you want to stick to some sort of method where you're doing it, it's up to you. But essentially, in order to lose weight, you have to diet in some way. You can't have it all your own way and just keep eating, because then you just put weight on. So I think the fundamental thing is understanding what a diet is and then not being too extreme with it, because you have to sustain it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's why we say, no more than 10% of a calorie deficit. And then you can be a bit more aggressive, and then this and that. Don't, you know, bite your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
So that's the way I go with my clients. You know, I try to teach them what it is first, because I understand there's a whole psychology behind food. Yeah. But if you don't understand the principles, then how can you have the right mindset behind it? Because it's, you know, if you're like me, I need clarity. If I can see clarity on something, I work hard. If I can't, I'll either try and find clarity, or I'll go, fuck this, I'll do something else. Yeah. And I think that's what happens. People don't understand. They go from one diet to the next diet because there's no clarity on what they're doing.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I feel like there is this whole stigma, like there's this whole around the word diet. Like people look at this as a negative thing. They're like, no, I'm not counting calories because I'll get too obsessive and this and that. And I'm like, but it's just, I think being obsessive over those sort of things is like, do you reckon it's more of a personality type, or?
So like, you know, he won't mind me saying this, I have a client called Ben, fantastic, what a geezer. I can give him numbers on MyFitnessPal, that is it. He'll put it in. He doesn't find it neurotic, he's a mathematician, that's what he does, it's in his head.
He loves it,
Loves it. So my job's easy, I'm like, Ben, you need to eat this, boom, goes and does it. I'm pretty much like that as well, because I'm like, oh my God, it went over like 5 grams. So I get like that.
Yeah.
But then I understand there's other people that are a little bit more fluffy. They can't look at it like that. And then we need to find guidelines for them. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to who you're working, and you just hit the nail on the head. What's their personality like? You need to understand who you're working with here.
Yeah.
Also, I think it also comes down to the phase of life they're in. Like how we were speaking about this a couple of days ago when we done our little thing.
Yeah.
What's their stress level like? And I don't mean their stress level as in like, oh, I'm panicking, I'm anxious. I mean like, are they getting up at 5 a.m. to go to work, on the run, getting their coffee, 20 meetings back to back, got to find half an hour to train, come back, when do they eat? you don't want to stress them more because they've got enough shit to deal with.
Yeah.
So it's simplifying things. So it's dependent on who you're working with.
Yeah, 100%. Because I feel like a lot I've seen PTs work with clients and everything, and I guess this is more like for the coaches, I guess, is like you can't add more stress to your clients. It's like we're almost there to take stress out.
That's it.
Right?
Bang shoulders every week, bro, because they need to be big enough to take the stress.
Sick guy, right? And I feel like because some coaches can always they sometimes they overcomplicate something so much. The client is like, wait, hold on, one sec. I've just come to you. I've paid you to help me. I've told you I'm stressed. You're telling me now that I have to hit 1,200 calories with a 35% protein and this and that, this many steps and this many training and reduce your tempo and this and blah, blah, blah. What would you say to fresh coaches that will listen to this?
Yeah.
What angle should they take with their coaching? How would they help? What is the first way or the first thing that they should do with their clients?
I think the first thing is you need to learn more, because if you're speaking in that jargon, you probably don't know enough. And the truth is, if you really know it, you can spit it in about 10 different languages. Yeah. And that's the true art of it. It's like, don't speak like that to make yourself look more clever, because the only thing you're doing is making your client go, what the fuck? But that being said, there are clients out there that love that shit. So it depends who you're working with again.
Yeah.
Number one, I'd say just keep learning, because at the end of the day, you should be able to explain it with your eyes shut in 5 different languages.
Yeah.
And I don't mean different languages. You know what I mean?
I know what I mean. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Then the other thing is, don't do it to impress.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that is going to be impressive is when they get their results. Yeah. So make sure they understand what they're doing. But firstly, you need to understand.
Yeah. Do you think that is the most important thing? Results.
Yeah.
Always.
I think it's the most important thing. What those results are depends on the client, what you're doing as a business, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, bro, when you go out and you say to your marketing guy, can you get me top of Google? You want results, bro.
Yeah.
That's why you pay the money, return on investment. It's the same with your PT sessions. They pay you not because they want to chat. Some people do. And if that's your thing, then cool, that's a business model as well. But that's results, you're offering them a chat.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most important thing. In my eyes, it's the most important things, because that's what I expect when I pay for a service. I expect the outcome.
Yeah. Because I think it's also like I know when you first started personal training, you were working at Virgin. Was Virgin your first gig? Virgin Active?
My first gig, yeah.
Virgin Active was your first gig, and you were employed by Virgin, right?
You're employed by Virgin. You do a certain amount of money for them, hours.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah. Do you think, for personal trainers listening to this, do you reckon? I went straight balls in as a self-employed, and the gun to the head sort of pressure, I was fine. Do you think when it comes to becoming a personal trainer and like a businessman, that's the angle personal trainers should be taking?
What is in whether you go down the Virgin route or whether you go down like the rent route?
Rent route, yeah.
Listen, I think it's a good platform going down the Nuffield Health and Virgin Active, because there's no strain of rent, and you can go down the route of trying to get as many people as possible, talking to the members, cutting your teeth as your trade, training your friends. It's pretty easy and it's a nice environment. But let's face it, the rent at these places like Fitness First, they can be pricey, but they scale you up slowly. So I think either way, it works for you. Yeah. What I think is, when you start, it's important that you start at a commercial gym. Don't go straight to the studio unless the studio is dripping you clients.
Yes.
You know, we're hiring at the moment. So any PTs out there, just drop me your CV. But if you come to someone like us and we drip you clients, great, because we'll get you up to scratch quickly. But if you're just going to a studio where it's quiet and you're there trying to put yourself out there, and you know, you're looking for clients, it can be very difficult. And I think the big thing that's really cool about working at a commercial gym, regardless of their rent model, is there's people there. We used to go on the gym floor. Hello, how are you doing? Do you need any help? It teaches you customer service first and foremost.
Bro, that was the best thing about working in I chat to a lot of PTs, and every time I've been to IFS, or there's been like a PT seminar I've done with Smith, and there's people that work in commercial gyms. They're like, yeah, I'm trying to build my business online. I'm like, bruv, you got 2,000 fucking members in your gym. What are you trying to make sales online for?
You know what? I'll tell you something now, yeah? I won't go back because we're at a stage in our life where we are. But if I was to go back now, I will be on the gym floor and I'll offer two things: in person, online. All the members are there. Try and build your online there. Give them a program. What my goal used to be, and I know Steve used to do it as well. I wanted to walk around the gym floor and see everybody doing my programs, even if they were free. I just wanted to see them doing it. To do that, you have to chat to them. They have to do your classes. Bro, before I started work at Virgin, I didn't even know how to answer the telephone. I'll be like, yo. You know what it taught me? To say, hi, I had call time in my schedule.
Yeah.
Call time taught me, hi, how you doing? Andy from Virgin Active, how can I help you? All this stuff.
Yeah.
And I do think that working in a commercial environment teaches you how to build your brand and your business because you see how they're doing it.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. And I feel like when all that, like working in that commercial gym and approaching everyone, and it helps you build confidence. And I feel like people, it's a must for sure. But what's going to happen now, like with COVID and stuff? Do you know what I mean? Like,
different scenario, but you have to pivot and you have to adjust. And people want to train outside, bro. You don't need weights. You can buy weights. There's so many angles of fitness. As a personal trainer, it upsets me when people are like, oh, gym's closed. I'm like, bro, I know it's a big thing, but that's when you go out there and you learn. There's so many modalities of exercise that your clients could be doing more of what they're not doing enough of.
Yes.
100%. Get out there, bro.
100%. I agree. And when, because let's be honest, like, when we were doing PT, right? Like when you started, when I started, I know for a fact you did personal training because you loved it. I know I started because I loved coaching. I loved sport. I loved all of that. Yeah. But now PT is the cool thing to be. Before it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, I got into it, bro. I got into it because I kept getting injured for football. Coaches were telling me certain things and I wanted to learn for myself.
Yeah.
And then when I learned for myself, the first thing I wanted to do was go, well, how can I help other people do that? And does it work?
Yeah.
And then I got into this whole thing of this is what I like doing. But was it fashionable? I don't know. I was brought into it because Steve is like a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
Marginally older than me. He used to do things and then I used to go, right, I want to do that as well.
Yeah.
And so I think I was brought into it because we used to do sports coaching for schools.
Yeah.
I was a kid then. I was like, what, 21, 22?
Yeah.
And I don't want to train these brats. They don't listen.
Yeah.
Not humans. Adults will listen to me.
Yeah.
To PT, realised that adults don't listen to you either. You need to circle. Now I'm like, I'd love to train kids. It's like a blank canvas. You can bring them up. So I just think if you love coaching, you love coaching. And it comes down to your values of, do you want to help people? And do you want to experiment the things that you're learning and getting that across, how you do it? But I don't know if it's fashionable. It seems fashionable. What I think is fashionable now is wearing all the cool kit that's out there. Everyone wants to look sexy. And then how can I make loads of money by doing that?
Yeah.
I might be wrong. That's how it seems to be.
Yeah. What do you think of, what about my idea on, basically, I always get I don't get frustrated when people become newly qualified, 6 weeks in, qualified personal trainer. First thing they do is change their bio. Online personal training, inquire now, this and that. What do you think of that? I've got a weird opinion about it. Like, I feel like, do your thing. But I'm also like, you need to like earn your stripes on the gym floor and really learn about coaching before you can offer. What do you reckon?
I think you're right, because that's my opinion. It's like, how can you coach when you haven't experienced getting different mediums of coaching across?
Yeah.
That only happens when you work with people. And I know you can work with people online, but you haven't even felt it yet.
Yeah.
But what do I think of it? I think the reason why they do that is because they think that's what success is, online personal trainer. But the truth is that comes down to the education they're getting from level 3, level 2, these course providers. That's where the problem lies. They're not teaching enough business skills. They're not teaching enough what the fundamental is. And I think it's also the notion of like, if I'm an online trainer, my life is easy. Bro, don't start a career trying to make it easy. You start a career, work.
Yeah, 100%.
Otherwise, you shouldn't be there.
100%. And the mad thing is, online is harder.
It's harder.
It's harder.
There's more people to reach, but it's diluted. You're a little voice in a big pond.
Yeah.
Whereas you go into your ends, you go to the local gym, quite quickly, you're number one voice if you do the right things, and then you can grow out. I'm not saying that online's bad, because online is brilliant. Such a powerful tool.
Yeah.
But first things first, be the don in your ends first.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
I don't know, bro. If you've got loads of finance, loads of money, or a really cool thing to speak about, do it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, when I mean finance, I mean because you can get your marketing out. You know, I didn't.
Yeah.
Or if you've got something really cool to say, don't be shy. Just say it. I think the best thing is watching you, like where you've come from to where you are now. It's because you didn't give no fucks when you spoke on the camera. Too many people like, oh, my makeup was wrong. Oh, my hair wasn't in place. Or oh, I said something about fish oils. What the guru's gonna say? It's like fuck what you're gonna say, bruv.
Yeah.
You only say things that you know are true to yourself anyway.
Yeah. But you know what? Like I know, like when I was doing all that stuff, and I know I had like people like say you watching me, Graham Morris, and coaches that like mentored me and that smarter than me, and the topics that I talk about sometimes. I always know that I know I'm approachable enough that you might hit me up, be like, "Hey, Diren, just a heads up.
Yeah,
that's not entirely correct."
Yeah,
and then you tell me. Yeah, say that again. Sorry.
You got to be big enough to take that. And the truth is, if you want to be at such a pedestal, whether it's followers, whether it's fame, whether it's you're up here, then you've got to be able to absorb that negative and positive, because if not, you're going to get shot down very quickly, and not because people are shooting you, but because you're so insecure about being up there.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You have to be big enough to absorb it, whether it is positive or negative.
Yeah. But you're right. A lot of people don't post and don't do those things because they worry about what other people think. And the mad thing is, all the other people like they're thinking about are never going to be the people that pay them.
Yeah. I've got a thing like love looks forwards.
Yeah.
Hate looks backwards.
Yeah.
And fear's got eyes all over their head.
Yeah.
And the problem is with a lot of these people that are not posting, could actually add loads of value, by the way.
Yeah.
They're looking everywhere instead of looking at the thing that they love doing, which is what they should be posting about.
Yeah.
They're either looking at what happened bad for them. It's like, oh shit, that post didn't get many likes. Or they're looking at everyone else's social media instead of being authentic and just doing the thing they're good at, and it'll probably just grow.
Yeah. Because you know what, bro? I've seen people shoot up with followers and this and that and post and this and that. They used to get this many likes. Now they do a post and the engagement is not there. And they panic, they stress, and they worry about it. So they don't post again. Or when they post, they stress out even more. And in my head, I'm like, you're obviously not posting for the right reasons. Are you like doing it for likes or whatever? Or are you doing it because you want to give value to people? And the truth is, like, when you give value to people, they
engage with you.
They engage with you, right? They engage with you, right? So you got to like, unless like, I guess nowadays you have to do, Instagram is saturated with everything is saturated in the fitness industry with everyone trying to do bits. You just got to be, I guess,
authentic. I think it's authenticity. We're all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
That's it. Mindset. Got to be consistent. Get your
stuff.
We're all saying the same shit, bro.
Yeah.
But it's the way that you get it across. It's your way of doing it. And then people will gravitate towards you because they like you.
Yeah.
You know, looking from the outside, I've always followed you, my boy, innit? So look at the way you've done it. People like the way you do it because it's refreshing.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing and saying your message, and you're not like trying to be someone else. You're quite easy to say, oh yeah, I don't know this. It's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know this, bro. It's mine. It doesn't make me a bad person, bro. Don't make me a bad coach either. Yeah.
I don't know. Give me 1 second. Hey, Andy, what are you saying, bro? Hey, what's this?
Cool, I do that as well. It's fine. If you don't know, you know what I'm saying? So I just think people have got to get better at going, I don't know. But then on the flip side, I've seen a lot of people use the I don't know as a great excuse to get out of things. So I don't know that. And I'm like, bro, you should know that.
Yeah, you should find
out.
find a balance of that, because you can even tell when the way someone says it.
Yeah. And it's not that, what I mean is you shouldn't be making the same mistakes all the time and going, it's because I don't know. Yeah. At some stage, you need to change that.
Yeah. You need to go and find the hell out of what it actually is to actually apply it to other people.
Exactly.
Bro, where can people find you?
Bro, I'm based in Guildford.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All you need to do, is go on Instagram, find me. I think it's PT Andy Pilides, with the thing at the top. Or More Than Muscle Limited is my company.
Yeah.
Or just shout Diren and he'll point you in the right direction. But
100%.
You can find me.
Yeah.
I think there's only one Andy Pilides in the whole world, bro. So
yeah, I know. Andy Pilides, believer, innit? Believer. You got to believe this. And any personal trainers that need any help or whatever, listen, Andy's my guy. Jeez. Andy's my guy, and he's a very good coach, and he's definitely someone that's helped me over the years and still does when I need him there. I know he's there, just like the few other people I reach out to. I just want to say thank you for coming on, bro, and sharing your knowledge with people, because I know you're such
40 episodes, bro.
Huh?
I can't believe it's taken 40 episodes, bro.
Bro, I did, like I said, bro, I had to build an audience for you.
I like it.
You know, I had to build an audience for you, you know. And bro, thank you for coming on. And
bro,
I'm going to see you soon, bro. Anyone that's listening, make sure you check out his profile. Subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends. Look on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple, and there's going to be more guests coming through, coaches, influencers. I might even get some OnlyFans girls on there, innit? Peace and love, and chat to you guys soon. Boom.